me here and other members of the Hexa Media team right here on the call. Um, I'm so happy to have you all here. It's been a long time I have done all of this. I think the last time I had a live webinar like this was February as a result of so many activities that have been going on. But then thank you so much for joining us. This is the Digital Fundraising Blueprint Strategies for Success webinar, a part of our pre-summit series for the Social Impact Marketing Summit. And now, if you do not already know about the summit is our annual conference that happens every year where we bring together thought leaders, nonprofit founders like yourself to share and learn about digital marketing tools for nonprofits, fundraising, technology, and everything you need, in the comms world to grow your nonprofit and build, make more impact. And so this year we have the honor of co-convening the summit with Giving Tuesday Nigeria. And we are so excited because this is the first of its kind. Having to do this with Giving Tuesday Nigeria is an honor. And so I don't have to talk so much more about that. Let me go straight into why we're here today. And you're early. So as usual, you have the tea and the major part of why we're here. So an overview of what we're going to be learning today. First of all, we're going to be looking at proven strategies for digital fundraising. And I know a lot of you may have already started, excuse me, already started working when it comes to digital fundraising, creating your fundraising systems. We're going to look at some strategies that you can leverage to, scale the work that you're doing with digital fundraising. Also, we have how to engage donors online. So we're going to be looking at how exactly you can engage with your donors online and how you can maximize online giving platforms. There are so many online giving platforms. We're going to be talking about a few, and we're going to be introducing you into one amazing platform that you can begin to leverage today for your nonprofit. So if you are excited, please drop in the chat your most favorite emoji. Let me see your excitement level, and then I get straight into why we're here today. So let me see in the chat how excited you are, your emojis. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. I see the emojis. Wonderful. Wonderful. Great. All right. So moving on, let's go into me. Some of you are seeing me for the first time. Some of you are not seeing me for the first time. And for those of you who are just meeting me, my name is Emanuela Imo. Please feel free to call me Ella. Everyone calls me Ella. I'm a DevComs professional, a development communications professional. I also work as the country director for NOB Foundation, a 501c3 registered in the US. I am also a PhD candidate at Cyprus International University, focused on gender and media. I also, by God's grace, I'm the CEO of Hexa Media Africa, where I lead the team to do some of the amazing work that we do. They say we should blow our trumpet, so I'm going to blow my trumpet when it comes to the work that we do at Hexa Media. I'm an author, I'm a speaker, and I've also been featured on some platforms, the Impact Magazine, as the top 50 women in development, and also the Independent newspaper, amongst others. Today, I'm going to be sharing with you from my wealth of knowledge and also from my experience having to raise funds for nonprofits across Africa. So, what and why? Why digital fundraising? Every nonprofit right now, if you're not tapping into digital fundraising for your organization, then you are sort of 2 steps behind. Now, why am I saying that? Because digital fundraising is the simplest or the easiest system that you can set up right now to make your organization's fundraising activities more sustainable. And so what is digital fundraising? It is simply raising funds using digital technology, raising funds online. That's like the easiest, simplest thing you can use to define digital fundraising. There is no need to crack your head about it, right? And Why is it important, or why is it beneficial to an organization like yours, whether you're small, you're medium, or you're a large organization? The very first reason is it helps you to raise more awareness. Now, the social media world or the digital media world gives us access to billions of people. Now, imagine having these people at your disposal to give to your organization because they love your cause, or they are just passionate about, what you're doing, right? So leveraging digital fundraising helps you to raise more awareness about the work that you do, even if they do not necessarily donate to your nonprofit. The other reason why digital fundraising is important is it improves donor retention and increases donations. Now, in the world that we find ourselves, everyone is on their phone. Everyone goes to their phone to make payments online, to purchase something online. And because it's easy, people are able to get more donations through the door for their nonprofits. And you're also able to improve donor retention because you are able to gather as much data, right? And you're able to follow them up, whether through WhatsApp, whether through emails, whether through text messages, but you're able to build that one-on-one connection with your donors as a result of the digital platforms that are available to you. The other reason why digital fundraising is very important and beneficial to your nonprofit is it is sustainable and it's a diversified revenue stream for your nonprofit. So when we talk about sustainability, we're looking at the fact that you can easily access it, right? You don't need to spend so much. So it's not a system that you need to keep working on all the time, right? For most nonprofit that want to raise funds, you have to sit down and begin to think about how you're going to start reaching out to the same people who have been giving to your nonprofit more than 5 times before. Now, when you keep doing this, what happens is called donor fatigue. Your donors become tired. They have their own problems, right? They have their own challenges. So, at what point does it end? But when you're leveraging digital platforms for digital fundraising, you are able to reach more people. So, you are not caught within the loop of getting the same set of people to donate to you all the time. And you're able to diversify your revenue streams. Now, imagine this. You have a website that has a donation form embedded on the website, and anyone who lands on your website, whether they know you or not, maybe they were just searching for sickle cell nonprofit in Nigeria, for example, and then they get to see NOP Foundation. When they see NOP Foundation, because of the SEO and all of the other things that happens on the website, they see your causes and the work that you have done, and they just love it. Now, because they have seen your fundraising form, they just donate to you. Now, these people don't know you. They've never had a contact with your organization. They were just looking for a nonprofit to give to, and they searched. They just Googled you, right? And so they gave to your organization. So imagine that stream of income coming into your nonprofit, and you're also pursuing other means of donations, other means of revenue for your nonprofit. This is what digital fundraising affords you to do. You have diversified revenue streams for your nonprofit. Also, the most interesting and most beautiful part for me is the fact that your processes are automated and it is convenient. There is nothing as amazing as automated processes. A lot of you registered for this webinar and you got an email about 30 minutes before the meeting, right? All of that process was automated. No one had to sit down all over again to actually go and, type and send an email to you. And that's the joy of digital fundraising. Once you set up the system and you've automated all of the processes, all you just need to do is go back to the back end once in a while to check, see how the analytics is going. What do you need to make better? What is not working anymore for us to, change, and all of that. So when you use digital fundraising with your automated processes, everything just becomes easier, and you are able to afford donors convenience of giving to your nonprofit from the comfort of their home, the comfort of their phones or their devices. The other reason why it is so important for you is the global reach. I mentioned earlier that we have access to 1 billion people using the internet now. And imagine having those people donate to your nonprofit, right? So the global reach is amazing. People from here, we have people from Malawi, from Ghana, from Uganda, from Nigeria, and guess what? I am all the way in Cyprus, Europe, and I'm here having this webinar with you. The power of digital platforms and global reach, right? So digital fundraising also affords you that. And finally, why it is important, data collection and analysis. It is important that as a nonprofit, you are able to gather data and make better data-driven decisions, which is why we chose the topic for this year's summit, the Social Impact Marketing Summit, making data-driven decisions, right? Because data is very important in some of the decisions or all of the decisions we have to make, especially in the nonprofit sector. It is important that you're able to see what is working and what isn't. Now, when you do traditional fundraising, yes, you can gather data, but the kind of data you are able to gather may not be as streamlined as what you will get when it comes to using digital technology. And sometimes even when we gather that data, we are not able to make the best use of it. Sometimes when we gather the data, we forget to actually make the best use of it. So with digital fundraising or digital technologies, you are able to gather data, analyze them, and actually know what is working and what isn't working for your nonprofit. So now that I've been able to tell you what and convince you why it is important, let us go straight into how to create a compelling online fundraising campaign, which is the most important part of what you do. So the very first thing when it comes to creating an online fundraising campaign, when you want to leverage digital fundraising, there are two ways to going about it. The first is you create the system and then you use a campaign to foil that system. Now, the system would involve, your website, your social media, your content, the different pieces of marketing, your ads, and all of those different pieces, right? So you have to create that system so that it is automated. We are not going to talk about the system today. We're just going to talk about how to create the fundraising campaign itself, because a lot of nonprofits, what you focus on is crowdfunding campaigns. And so you just create campaigns for specific periods. And so this creating a compelling online fundraising campaign will really help you in making your campaigns much better. So now let's assume you have created the system. That system is just bringing in funding for you, but you want to be able to foil the system more through a fundraising campaign. The very first thing you would be doing is to assess your current situation. If at any point you miss any step in this creation process, you might get some things wrong. So please follow me and let's ensure that you are following through the process, right? So assess your current situation. What do you have? What is available at the moment? Do you have content on your platforms? Do you have a donation platform you're using, a fundraising platform you're using? Do you have an email list? Because online fundraising involves the whole 9 yards, right? Email marketing, you're leveraging your website, you're leveraging content marketing on your social media platforms. And so if you're going to be using all of these strategies, you need to have your platforms and everything on point before you even begin, because you cannot build a house without a solid foundation. And so you have to assess what you have. What are your platforms looking like? Are they optimized? If your website is not looking good, you need to ensure your website is looking good and optimized. The user experience is amazing. It is simple to understand. It loads fast. People can navigate easily on your website. If your social media platforms, you have not been consistent, you want to ensure that you create consistency for your nonprofit for at least 90 days before you launch an online fundraising campaign. Now, the reason is you want to warm up your platforms, warm up your audience hearts before you actually dump a campaign on them, right? They're humans. And guess what? They are not buying anything from you. They are giving to you from their hard-earned money. So you need to make it worth it, right? It's not just businesses or brands that carry out the preparation processes before they, make sales. Take it as you want to make a sale, right? So what do you do before you make a sale? You prepare the ground, begin to till the ground, make it ready for you to plant that seed, right? So ensure your platforms are updated. Ensure you must have been putting out content. If you're using a donation page or a donation platform, a fundraising platform, a crowdfunding platform, ensure that you have set up all of those different things, right? If you don't have that, okay, you do not have that, meaning you would need that for your campaign. What's your budget like? What's your budget like? You need a budget for an online fundraising campaign. No matter how small, you would need to fuel your campaign. You need to fuel it. And fueling it will be by running ads, whether it's Facebook ads or Instagram ads or influencer marketing or whatever it is. You need to find a way to fuel your campaign, right? And then do you have the personnel for what you want to do? Fundraising is not a one-man thing. It's not a single man journey. You need to have a lot of people. At least if you have a small organization, let's look at 3 people minimum, right? One person cannot think about the idea alone. One person cannot actually put all of the thoughts and plan and preparation together because it's a whole lot of work, right? And if you leave that on your comms manager or your comms person to do this alone, they would burn out and they might not be able to deliver to the best. So you need to check out what you have right now within your organization in terms of personnel, in terms of budget, in terms of tools and resources available, in terms of your platforms. Now, when you have done that, you know what you have and you know what you do not have. The next step is to go to your goal. Now we're going to determine how much you want to raise from your virtual fundraiser or your virtual event, right? Who are you trying to reach? How much is the easiest part? You can come up with a number, but you need to understand the goal of the campaign. What are you trying to fundraise towards? What do you need the fundraising to accomplish? There needs to be a specific goal. Now, when your goal is everywhere, you will not be able to convince people to swipe their cards. Trust me, you cannot. You need to be very specific. If you are raising funds for a project, let us know it is a specific project. If you are raising funds for the Giving Tuesday, let us know it's for Giving Tuesday. Even if it's for Giving Tuesday, there has to be a specific need or a specific solution you're trying to provide for your beneficiaries that that money would help with, right? So you need to be as specific as possible. Whom are you trying to reach? A lot of nonprofits do not know their target audiences, and that is wrong. Who you are trying to reach is very important because it will determine the platform that you promote your campaign on. For example, you're trying to reach middle-aged women, because you deal with children, your nonprofit is focused on children. And so you're trying to reach middle-aged women who are CEOs or let's just imagine CEOs. CEOs will be on LinkedIn. So your target audience are on LinkedIn, right? Sometimes they might be on Instagram, but Instagram may not be the best platform for you to use for that purpose. 1 second, please. I'm trying to see if okay, so everyone is in. All right, great. So Instagram may not be the best platform for you at some point. You might want to expand your reach, combine Instagram with LinkedIn. So
Hey, I'm sorry.
depending on, yes,
I think Fatima is trying to join in. So
okay, I'm not seeing her in the, okay, I just see her now. Okay, great. All right. Wonderful. Thank you. Okay, so depending on who you're trying to reach, that will determine the platform that you are on. So you need to be able to niche down properly on your target audience. Remember, we have the beneficiary target audience, we have the volunteer target audience, we have the donors and the partners and the sponsors. These three, they're a whole different target audience altogether, because sometimes the person who donates may not be the person who will sponsor. Sponsorships are majorly on organization basis. Yes, the person who makes the decision is an individual, but you are dealing with an organization now. So that will be a different bucket. So you need to identify who you're trying to reach with your fundraising campaign. Very important. If you miss the audience targeting, you may not be able to achieve the goal that you're trying to reach. Okay, and so what do you need the fundraising to accomplish? I've mentioned that before. You need to be specific. We're trying to raise $630 for sickle cell warriors in Nigeria to be able to provide them routine medicines every quarter. $30 provides one sickle cell warrior 3 months worth of medicines. We are being specific, right? You need to be specific. How many persons do you need to reach, to hit your goal? So if, for example, our goal is 630, our goal is $630, and we're saying $30 provides medicine for one warrior. So we're going to basically divide 630 times, or I don't know the math. I'm not a good math person, but I'm sure you get the flow, right? You're dividing 630 by 30 to know how many people you need to reach to hit your goal. So if you need to reach 10 people to get to 630, for example, meaning you need to at least reach up to 100, because in 100 persons, at least 10 should respond to you. I don't know if you get my point, because all of this come up when it comes to the marketing and spreading the word, the awareness phase. These numbers are really going to help you to achieve that goal. The same math of somehow the way you do it traditionally now comes into your planning process, right? How much do you expect per donor? Ensure you have SMART goals. What is your key message? What is your key message? The messaging is very, very, very important. What is your key message? Who are you trying to reach? Who are you trying to talk to? You have to be specific about the you are trying to pass across, right? So our message at Knob Foundation is simple. We are trying to reduce the stress. I'm trying to put it well. Taking one stress off every sickle cell warrior by providing them routine medicines monthly. Are you seeing how simple and specific my message is? Taking the stress off sickle cell warriors by providing them routine medicines monthly. Now, that's our key message. Every other information of the English that you want to share, you can shelf it, right? Nobody cares about the plenty grammar. That can go in the explanation of your story, why you're doing what you're doing, all of that English. But the major message that should be highlighted should be simple, straight to the point, and concise. And also, you need to ensure that you are able to include your donor in the message. So if we're to include our donor in the message, help us take the stress off sickle cell warriors by providing their routine medicines. So they are in the message now, right? So your message has to be very specific. One target audience, one goal, one result. And your fundraising campaign should also have a timeline, right? And you should also determine the type of fundraiser you want to achieve in your goal. Now, all of this information goes into your strategic goal that you're going to be planning. So you need to have all of these things in mind. when you're actually planning. So when it comes to fundraisers, what are the types of fundraisers you can consider? There are event fundraisers, virtual events, if you want to consider that, or you could even have in-person events and move them up to your fundraiser, like the campaign that's online. Okay. You could decide to have other campaigns around specific causes that you have. Get creative, create a challenge, involve your volunteers, something. Get creative. With the nonprofit work, you need to get creative because people get bored with some things at some point. And the fact that you're a nonprofit does not mean you cannot be creative, right? Then, when you have assessed your current situation, determined your goal, we move up to the next phase, which is start planning. So you see, all of these other things, they are like the hard labor part of the planning work, right? This is the hard labor part. This one is the most interesting part where you get creative. Now you're writing out your marketing plan and your launch plan. And for your marketing plan, you should include the pre-launch, launch, and the post-launch phase. So what goes on in the pre-launch, launch, and post-launch phase, everything should be there. How do you plan to market your campaign? The fact that you have a website or you have a campaign, your digital fundraising system is set up, does not mean people will give to you. You need to ensure that you're able to spread the word and determine different creative ways in which you will do this. And in order to achieve this, you are writing everything in your marketing plan. How do you want to do it? What is the kind of content you need to create? What are the kinds of pictures you need to share? Who are the people you need to get involved in the marketing for you? Do you need your volunteers? Do you need ambassadors? Do you need influencers to add in their voice? Who do you need to get on board? All of this information goes into your marketing plan. What platforms are you going to use to promote? All of this information goes into your marketing plan. Then you go up to set up your donation platforms. There is Donate NG, Giving NG, there is Crowder, there is DonorBox, there is Give Butter. Depending on where you are in Africa, you can determine which one you want to use. And I'm going to talk about these platforms subsequently. And you need to ensure that all of the platforms are optimized. Then you go up to setting your email sequence and your social media content. With emails, you want to ensure that there is a sequence that takes people from when they land on your campaign page to when they donate. After they have donated, what happens afterwards? Right? When they have donated, what happens afterwards? What are the series of emails? Do you want to educate them? Do you want to tell them about the work that you have done, sharing your success stories? You need to write out all of these things because it's not when people donate that you're going to be sending them emails manually. Then it's no longer digital fundraising. So you want to set up all of this, set up your social media content. If your campaign would run for 90 days, which I advise, the best time frame to run a successful digital fundraising campaign is for 90 days. That way you have enough time to see the results and actually know what is working so that you can tweak for the next one, right? So if you're going to be sharing for 90 days, what content goes in your pre-launch? Remember the pre-launch, you are making them excited towards your campaign. And then launch, you talk about it. And then post-launch, you are thanking them, right? So all of these different types of content need to come up in your content calendar. The pictures, the videos, everything. So that when you launch, you don't have anything stopping you. And so you write your copies, you create your designs, promotional materials, everything that you need when it comes to marketing. And then you test run. A lot of people, I have also made this mistake before. You set up digital fundraising or digital systems, whether it's fundraising, anything, and you don't test run. When we don't test run, you don't know what is working and what isn't. And so when you launch, you have people calling you, the link is not working. The link is broken. This one happened, that one happened. You don't want to have that experience. You want it to go smoothly as everything is hot, happening like that. Because when the excitement is there, and something is not working, the excitement dies off, and then you lose that person that is supposed to donate to your organization. So test run everything, and then the process is complete. You are now ready to launch, spread the word, measure the progress, rinse and repeat. That's simple. And trust me, you can rinse and repeat the same campaign at different times in a year, or the same campaign every year. Sometimes you can even have that system set up and it just keeps going. That's the joy of digital fundraising. So now that I have shared about this part, I want to stop talking just for a little bit and see how we're doing in the chat. So how is it going so far? Are you enjoying the session? Am I boring you? Um, are you getting something? Have you learned something so far? Let me see in the chat. Please tell me if you have learned something new. Let me know how it's going. Going well, going good, going bad. Tell me in the chat. Going well, going good, going bad. How is it going? And let me take some water. Going well, going good. Great. Fumi says going well. Wonderful. Z says great. All right. Going well, going great, going good. Please keep your questions at the end of the session. I will definitely take your questions. Thank you. Queen says more than going good. Patricia says, I'm learning what I didn't know, but it seems like a lot of thinking is involved, but it's going well. Yes, absolutely. A lot of thinking is involved, but once you have the thinking part done, the first phase of it, the planning and everything, you are definitely good to go. Okay, so don't worry, you are definitely on track, right? All right, going well, going great. So let's move into the next bit of it. And I talked about digital fundraising platforms, right? There are so many platforms. I know there are a lot of Africans here, and so I would talk about platforms that you can use as an African or an organization in Africa. So it's left for you to go and check these organizations out, these fundraising platforms out, and see which one um, does the work for you based off on your location. Now, if you're in East Africa, Mchanga is a platform for you to check out, right? It's a crowdfunding platform. You can check them out. If you are in the US, you can check out DonorBox and Give Butter. If you are not in the US, but you have a 501c3, you can also check that out. If you are in Nigeria, Crowder is your go-to platform, and guess what? We have the Crowder team here today to actually share with us about their platform and how you can use it to begin to raise funds for your nonprofit today. Like if you sit down in the next 10, 15 minutes, you can begin to use Crowder for your nonprofit fundraising campaigns today. And their process, their system is quite simple, easy to understand compared to some other platforms, but I don't want to blow the trumpet for them. I would want them to come to blow the trumpet for themselves. But before Crowder comes on board to show you how exactly you can use their platforms, let's look at the proven digital fundraising strategies, right? And after that, we would have Crowder team come on board to quickly share with us how to set up a fundraising campaign on their platform. So very simple and easy when it comes to fundraising strategies. There are some things that work, and storytelling and emotional appeal is the very first thing. Look, in the nonprofit sector, we are dealing with emotions. It's that simple. That's like how simple I can put it. You are dealing with emotions, you are dealing with people, and so you have to get them to care about your cause. Why should they care? That's all. Why should they drop their own problems and think about the people that you're trying to help, right? And so to get them to care, you need to share stories with strong emotional appeal. Use real life examples and testimonials of your beneficiaries to create an emotional connection with potential donors. Use videos, use image content, most especially videos. Videos are amazing when it comes to raising funds, right? Don't make your videos too long. I see some nonprofits trying to create videos and it gets too long. We don't watch to the end. Keep it at 1 minute maximum. Find a way to what's the word? Compress everything. Find a way to do that. Keep it at 1 minute, right? We have short attention span now, and so you want to ensure that everything is going in 1 minute, and some people within the first 15 seconds they drop off, right? So ensure your content is very, very engaging, very high quality. If you want to use images and videos, please, you need budget. You need to put aside some budget. If you cannot hire a professional photographer or videographer, there are good phones now that can take very beautiful videos and pictures for you. But you need to ensure that whoever is using the phone knows how to, take pictures properly. So you can cut costs by using a phone, but ensure that it is taken very, very well, right? You need to be very particular about those things. And then craft compelling narratives. I've talked about that using stories, right? Stories that illustrate the impact of donations. So if I give to you, what will you use my money for? I want to know that. Where does my money go? There is an organization, Charity Water, for their spring monthly giving program, which is called the Spring. What they do is they have like this GPS thing that helps people track where their money is going. So I'm in Cyprus, I'm donating to a community in Uganda. I see when the money leaves the US because Charity Water is a 501c3. I see where the money leaves the US and moves down to Uganda, and I see the community in Uganda. It's amazing the technology that they use, right? But I'm not saying you should use that because it's actually cost intensive. So find a way to ensure you are able to show the impact of your donations. And then personalize your donor communication as much as possible using segmented email campaigns, you know, this is why digital fundraising also helps. I talked about analytics. The data that you get from the platforms that you use is what you use to tweak some of these things, to segment your audiences through their donation history, their interest, their demographics, and all of those things. The other thing is always send thank you messages. It is not a one-way street. It's not supposed to be. It is, you can't give back to them. Sometimes you can, maybe your time, your resources, but you can't give back the money to them because you need it. So the best thing you can do is a simple thank you. So automate the process for your donations that as soon as people give, as soon as people are able to donate, they get a thank you message. Show appreciation. A lot of us in Africa, when people give to our nonprofits, we do not show appreciation. We just wait, collect the money, use the money, and then next year or the next time you have another fundraising campaign, you reach out to the same people and you're expecting them to give to you. Now, change the roles. If you were the one in that donor's shoes, would you be happy? The truth is, you would not. You will find that person ungrateful or the organization ungrateful. So, thank you messages definitely go a long way. And then social media engagement. If you're here and you do not have an active social media page, for whatever reason it is, if it is content that is your reason, if it is the fact that you do not have a dedicated social media manager or something, please reach out to Wuraola. Wura, drop a message in the chat and let's help these people to get their social media going. Social media is very, very important. Regular updates, even if it is 3 times a week, that's like the barest minimum you can do. 3 times a week. Keep your social media followers updated with regular posts about your organization's activities, success stories, upcoming events. It is not when you have a fundraising campaign you come and become active because you need money. That's a very bad mindset. And trust me, your campaign will not yield lots. So you need to ensure that regular updates are going on. If you need help with social media, Hexa Media focuses on helping nonprofits and social enterprises just like yours, and we are happy to help take that stress off you. So please, as much as possible, keep your social media active minimum 3 times a week. It can be one post 3 times a week. Your stories are on, you can share stuff. When you have activities, you're updating, but don't just keep it lying fallow. The best you can do also is limiting to specific platforms that your audience is on. Don't expand your digital footprint because you just want to do it. You might burn out. So restrict your presence to two. It can be LinkedIn and Instagram. It can be LinkedIn and Twitter. It can be Facebook and Instagram. Depending on where you think your audience is, limit it to two and see how it works for you, right? But for no reason whatsoever should you leave your social media fallow. The other digital fundraising strategy, which is very, very um, great for nonprofits, is matching gifts and challenges. Now, a lot of organizations in diaspora do this a lot, especially during Giving Tuesday campaigns and all of that. They partner with businesses or major donors to match contributions during their fundraising campaign. So how it works is, for example, Twefu Uganda partners with Hexa Media to match the donations from their menstrual hygiene campaign fundraiser, right? So for every $100 that is donated, Hexa Media donates another $100. And so we are matching it, right? So the organization may not want to give you without seeing what people have done. So what this does is it keeps, your audience, especially your volunteers, if you have a lot of them or you have a very large community, it keeps them involved in trying to see how they can help increase the amount of money you're able to bring in, right? So that that organization will be able to match your donation. And this really helps and goes a long way. And then you could create fundraising challenges connected to your campaign. No matter what the campaign is, there is always a creative way in which you can do things. So you need to get thinking, right? Go online, research as much as possible. Go and see what organizations in different regions are doing. What I do sometimes is I go to organizations in Germany, Netherlands, US, and I check out what they are doing and get some ideas that I can tweak to work with the organization that I have to work with, right? You can also try this, okay? So that's a very great fundraising strategy for you. Also, optimizing donation pages is very important. Ensure your donation page is easy to navigate, mobile friendly, and quick to load. Some of us, if we go to our phones and we have an issue with we'll just get distracted and dump it. Make sure you also have a clear call to action. Don't have too many call to actions. Donate now. Give now. Support. Something simple and straight to the point. You also want to create multiple payment options. Don't restrict it. If you are a nonprofit based in Africa and you're not registered as a 501c3, and so you may not have the opportunity to raise funds in dollars, one thing you can do is go and find a fiscal sponsor. A fiscal sponsor is an organization that will receive the funding or the donation on your behalf for, for the period of time that you want it. Sometimes fiscal donors or fiscal sponsors collect a percentage of the amount that is being raised, and that's okay. right? They are giving you their platform. And so you're able to integrate that payment option on your platform. For example, Hexa Media is registered as an LLC in the US. And sometimes what we do is fiscal sponsorship for organizations who cannot receive donations from the US. So they use our own accounts to receive the money using our online payment methods, right? So you can find corporations or organizations that do this within your network. Make sure they are trustworthy, okay? Make sure you have tested them and tried them so that you don't have stories coming up at the end. And another great option is recurring donations. Monthly giving is the best, guys. Is the best because you are getting a steady stream of income. Your campaign is a one-time thing, but monthly giving, people are able to give smaller amounts consistently. So imagine getting $10 consistently every month from 100 people. 10 times 100, do the math. So you can consider recurring donations, okay? And it's automatic. So once your card is there, the money keeps coming. It's like Zoom subscription or all of those subscriptions that we do, right? And also content marketing, very important. SEOs, very, very, very important. Very important. I've talked about email marketing, 100% important to regularly update your donors about your work, your success stories. If you do not have an email marketing platform that you're using, the best and easiest one you can use is Substack. Substack is free and you can use it to share newsletters, upcoming events, success stories as much as possible. 100% free, right? You can also send appeal letters during year-end fundraising. You can use that. So stay in touch. Stay in touch. At least twice a month, you are sending a message via your emails. Data-driven fundraising. Do not ignore your data and your analytics. Beyond everything, this is what matters because it helps you to know what is working and what is not working. In the virtual digital world that we find ourselves, events and webinars is something that nonprofits can definitely leverage. So host online fundraising events, engage with your donors and raise more funds. Call your donors together, people who have donated to your organization, and walk them through what you have done so far, right? Walk them through the process. Tell them what you have done so far. Tell them the successes you have recorded, how it is going. And guess what? When some of them get to see some of these successes, they are pushed to give more. Do not um, despise all of these little things. Some of these tiny things really are the ones that make the drop in the ocean, okay? It can be educational webinars. You are just educating people about your cause, provide them value. It's not only businesses that provide value. You work in the sickle cell space. There are a lot of Africans that do not understand what sickle cell is about. Take it from me. I've been working in this space for the last 6 years. I can tell you there are some people that do not know their genotypes. You work as a menstrual hygiene organization. There are some myths that some people still have stuck in their brains that they're not ready to let go of. Your educational webinars keeps bringing people through your funnel. It keeps bringing people through your funnel. Now, when you keep having all of these people sign up to your webinars, you are able to convert them at some point into volunteers or donors for your organization. So that's a very good strategy for you. So before I take any questions, I'm going to stop sharing my screen and invite Crowder team to show us how you can raise funds through their fundraising platform, how you can set up your digital fundraising, and everything. So, are you ready, namesake, Ada?
Hi, yes, I am.
All right, please take it away. Show us how we can leverage Crowder for our nonprofits.
Perfect. All right.
I believe you can share your screen. While you're doing that, I'm just going to look at this. Uh, okay, so you're set. Are you ready?
Yes, I am. Yeah.
Okay, please take it away. Thank you
All
so
right,
much.
perfect. Hi everyone. I'm so happy to be here and I'm so excited to be doing this right now. I'll just start with a little intro and then I'll get into more of the details of what we do at Crowder and how we can help you and your organization reach your goal. My name is Adelbi Ajebo. I am the founder and CEO of Crowder, and we are a platform that helps nonprofits, individuals, communities, and organizations raise funds and source volunteers in Nigeria, hoping to expand to the rest of Africa. Um, and I guess I could go through the story of how we started this business or started this initiative. Um, so a couple of years ago, during the NSARS process or the NSARS protest, we noticed that there was a gap between, how successful it was and how successful it could have been if there were certain tools that were made available. Oh goodness, I'm so sorry. Yeah, this is the deck. My bad. Um, yeah. So there was a gap between how successful the protest was and where they could have been if they had some tools available to them. And then we started thinking about the availability of companies like GoFundMe on the continent and how there was kind of a scarcity. They exist, but they don't exist at the scale that would be beneficial. So that's where the idea kind of sprung from. And then I gathered a really, really great team of people to help me get there. And we're still in that process, but we're going. And yeah, so like I said, Crowder is a platform that helps nonprofits, individuals, and different communities and companies raise funds and source volunteers. We noticed three main problems, which is one, lack of access. Different organizations and people didn't have a space for them to be able to market their needs and to really communicate where they lack and in return receive support from their communities. So Crowder helps them to bridge that gap, to create a safe and reliable environment for them to raise funds. Also makes ensures that donors feel comfortable donating to these campaigns because we noticed that um, there's a lot of people that didn't really trust campaigns that they were donating to on viral platforms like Twitter. So we're trying to bridge that gap and make sure that campaigns that run on the platform are as secure and legit as possible and making sure that it's transparent. They know what's going on with the funds post donating. Everything is communicated clearly and reliably. Um, yeah, I could. I wasn't sure if you guys wanted to see a breakdown of using the platform, but I will just share the link and then you can go and create an account. It's very simple. In like 3 minutes, you'll be done. And you can see some of the live campaigns that we have running right now and then choose to support if you wish. Yeah, so the key features that we have are one, streamline fundraising, making it easy for you to create your campaign, to raise funds, and also to donate to other campaigns as well. We also have a tool on the platform where we match volunteers with nonprofits and organizations that are seeking out help for their work. So we have some campaigns running for nonprofits looking for help for either their events or they need, sometimes some photographers or they might need help with some data stuff or some computer stuff. You can do that on the platform. You can just sign up and then volunteer for whichever suits your interests. And also for you nonprofits, you can also seek out volunteers that fit your needs. You can make specifications on what you need and kind of streamline what can fit into those areas and what doesn't. So the choice is yours. Um, we are our one of our goals is to build a community. I feel like that's the biggest thing for us is to make sure that the message is clear and all these nonprofits and all the individuals kind of come together and are doing a good thing, whether it's for their own needs or for the collective of their communities. Yeah, and we also make available data for you so you see how well your campaign is doing or how not well your campaign is doing and what ways you can improve that. The payment processing, we currently only have Naira being processed on the platform, but we are working on international payments as well, and eventually expanding to other parts of West Africa and the rest of the continent would be able to make payment processing easier as well. Our target market is individuals, organizations, and different groups. And I guess that's pretty much the 411. We launched little over a month, let's say like 2 months ago. And since then, we have over 100 campaigns running. And yeah, it's been a good run so far. We hope to see more of you guys on very soon. We were also accepted to the LSETF Lagos Innovates Female Founders and Funders Incubator. It was a 6-week program. Great. Helped us do better what we're doing right now. And yeah, on using the platform, if you are creating a campaign, we just take 2% of your total funds being raised. So that means if you raise 150,000 Naira, we take 2% of your total funds. And for the donors, just to satisfy our banking processes, we take 1.5% off of each donation. Our incredible team, myself, Tritima, who is also here, who is our CMO and responsible for what we sound like, what we look like, how we communicate what we do clearly. And Jerry, who is responsible for all the technical stuff, making sure that we work. And yeah, and aside from that, we have a very cool 10-man team. And they're just responsible for everything that you see. And that's pretty much it in terms of a breakdown of what we're doing. I don't know if anyone has any questions so far.
Thank you so much, Namesake, for sharing with us. So while we're waiting on questions, let me quickly share my screen to show everyone what the Crowder page looks like. So I guess everyone can see my screen. This is the Crowder website. Very easy to use, like I said, sweet platform. So all you just have to do, visit on crowder.com. Please, if you don't mind, Ada dropping the website in the chat so everyone can be able to visit it, those of them in Nigeria. And then you click on start a campaign, or you donate to a campaign if you want to, right? And it's that simple. You just follow the prompt and sign up. Everything is as easy as it can be, whether as an individual, a nonprofit, or a business, right? And you can see some of the campaigns here already. As I would always say when I tell everyone who tries to raise funds, don't expect the platforms to be the ones to raise funds for you. You are using their platform as a means of bringing people to actually get the funding that you need. So when you set up your campaign, you need to fuel it as much as possible. You need to fuel it. So any questions for Ada before I begin to take other questions? Have you got any questions? Have you got any questions? I saw some questions from Patricia. Have you got any questions? Okay, so the website link is in the chat right now. And before I take questions, so in the absence of any questions for the Crowder team, let me just quickly invite you, please, as much as possible, follow us on our social media platforms because we drop a lot of all of this. Also follow Crowder on their social media platforms so that you can see some of the campaigns that they have going and get updated with new updates that they have, right? We have a WhatsApp channel where we share opportunities in the nonprofit sector, funding opportunities, grant opportunities, everything opportunity in the impact sector. We share all of that. And also some resources that we give out for free or the paid offers that we have. So please feel free to scan the barcode on your screen. We would also send the link via our email. So if you're subscribed to our email list, you should be getting that from us. So I'm going to also quickly talk to you about our event. But before I go there, let me just take your questions so that I can respond to some of them. Uh, Patricia, you say you are in East Africa. Is it only Mchanga that we can use for now? Well, Mchanga is the one that is largely used in East Africa, but you can consider donor box if you have a PayPal account or a Stripe account. Now, it's not personal account, but an organization account because PayPal or donor box would not work. PayPal and donor box will not work with a personal account. So you could consider donor box. That's another great platform. How many percent do they take after donations? 2%. Very fair. 2%. Very, very fair. The other question I saw, how does Hexamedia do the social media management for us? Okay, Fumi, please fill the form that Wura has dropped in the chat, and she would get back to you with all of the information that you need. Please, can we have access to your slides? We really haven't been able to catch up. You would have access to the replay on YouTube. So if you're subscribed to our email list, you will definitely get the replay, the information about the replay once it is up. And so just quickly, in the absence of any other questions, let's talk about the Social Impact Marketing Summit. It is our annual event, like I talked about, that we have the honor this year of co-convening with Giving Tuesday Nigeria. And with the help of our partners and our sponsor, Veridian Architect, we are hosting this third edition, special virtual edition, September 7th, 2024, streaming live. And we've chosen the theme futuristic data-driven impact. And so we're looking to share with you information and stuff about how you can, get started with your nonprofit, leveraging digital platforms, leveraging AI, leveraging blockchain technologies. So if this is what you want to learn about, you want to know about how you can leverage AI for your nonprofit, how you can leverage blockchain technologies for your nonprofit, then this is the event you need to be at. To register, please visit www.sims.africa/SIMS 2024. Wura will drop the link in the chat. It is 100% free, nothing charged, nothing collected. We also have the award bit of it where we're going to be celebrating and awarding some special individuals through the Humanitarians of Africa Awards on the 7th of September. So if you would want to see who will be winning our awards this year, please join us live at the summit. We have amazing speakers already lined up for us. We have Mr. Olua Muyemi from Microsoft, who is going to be our keynote speaker. We also have Mr. Olubumi Fabonwo. He's a Google Cloud consultant in Canada. We have Akanksha, who is an independent consultant in India. We have Samson Oladapo, the co-founder of Alafia in Nigeria. We have Fifi Boateng from Waxi in Ghana. We have Sally, an AI professional from Kenya, and we also have Mario, an AI professional from Nigeria. So many other people that we have not yet unveiled, but we are absolutely, absolutely excited, to have this summit this year. And we're hoping that we would have you on board to learn from the wealth of experts here and also to spread the word. Don't be stingy. It is free. There is nothing attached. So spread the word to people in your community, people who would be interested in learning about this. Please spread the word as much as possible. And we definitely look forward to seeing you. Stay peeled on our social media platforms because we share a lot of information and resources that are helpful to everyone. We have come to the end of our webinar today. I don't know if there are any other questions. How do we subscribe to your email list? Okay, so Wura, if you could please drop the link um, on there. Yes, if you could drop the link. Another thing is if you are registered to the summit, you should be subscribed to our email list already. You could also, okay, this is Mrs. Dolapo. Okay, I will send you the details, Mrs. Dolapo. I would send that to you. I would ensure I do that. But if you sign up to the summit, you should get that. And we would also share it on the channel for everyone to be able to subscribe. I don't know if Wura is able to drop the link immediately, but I will share that with us. Okay. Um, yes, we have come to the end of today's webinar. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. Really appreciate you for your time. And I hope you have learned one or two things here. Please go on socials, tag us, let us know what you learned today. Let us know how today's webinar was helpful for you. And just tag us, let us know so that we can be able to reshare, right? And know that. Oh, okay. We would love to follow you on social media channels. Okay, our social media platform is Hexa Media Africa across all platforms: LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or X. It is Hexa Media Africa. You can just type Hexa Media Africa and you would find us. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful weekend ahead, and we look forward to hosting you at the Social Impact Marketing Summit. Bye.